How to beat sin. You give it to Jesus. I remember one day I asked God, how do I overcome sin? Because I was struggling with sinning. And I always had this mentality of I have to stop. So I asked God, and then Jesus spoke to me, and Jesus said, give it to me. So how you overcome sin is to give it to Jesus Christ. You give it to God because Jesus is the one that takes sin away. He's the one that you put your sin on. He's the one that pays for your sin, right? So how do you do that? You draw close to God. You draw close to Jesus Christ. Again, Jesus Christ is God. God the Father and Jesus Christ are one. So you draw close to God, the Christian God. Read your Bible. You get into prayer. You start building up your faith. And the closer you get to God, the more you abide in his love, power, and grace, and you will just feel the natural effects of God, and your sin will start to not sin as much, and the sin that you were doing will start to just cease over time. So basically, Jesus Christ takes your sin away as long as you go after God, as long as you go after Jesus. And that's how it works. You don't have to beat sin. Sin is already beaten when you place your faith and efforts on Jesus. It's not you that beats the sin. Jesus has already beaten it, but you have to abide in him. Does this make sense? Hopefully this makes sense to you. Stop trying to beat sin alone and draw close to God. Your relationship with God, your relationship with Jesus should be an everyday thing. You should be thinking about God. You should be thinking about Jesus. You should be reading your word or watching a video. You should be in communion with God in some way or form. I don't know how you're going to do that because it's not my life. Everyone's going to do it differently, but you should be communing with God in some way or form because you are in relationship with him, like you would with your mother or your boyfriend or girlfriend or your father or your best friend or just your normal friend. You should be in some sort of relationship where you communicate, you dwell on, you bask in with God. You should be treating God as if he's actually a person that is with you. And as you're having that relationship, again, that sin will be taken away from you because God has power. There's power in belief. And when you give your worries and your sin to God, he actually does make those things go away. But you actually have to give it to him. You actually have to believe. And this is why a lot of people fall away. This is why a lot of people struggle. Oh yeah, and I want to add this in before I finish. Even if you mess up, apologize like you would anyone when you mess up, and keep giving your sin to God.